Okay, so we are live. I started recording. So welcome everyone. Second installment of the Townhall for Thai. Um, we to this week we're gonna talk about three major things, maybe two because Revan kit was not shown. So the first topic is gonna be Revan. Second topic is gonna be mods, TW modding, and team compositions for TW. What's good for defense? What's good for offense? And the third topic is gonna be the guild renaming we just did and the general alliance name we chose and how we chose it. And the fourth topic is gonna be a Q&A as usual. So first topic is Revan. So if yeah, we were already talking about it. So if anyone wants to chime in, feel free. I'm gonna shut up because I need to do platoons.
As I mentioned earlier on Jedi Academy, a lot of the game changers are left in the dark right now. They have no idea what's going on besides the idea that the rumor that the kit wasn't that good, according to Jolly Roger, who's a tester, and I think he's in BHG, I think. And then Kerry posting a Twitter message saying that they're having all the employees, or many of the employees, staying over the weekend. So the game changers are predicting, because they're left in the dark, that it's going to be pushed back a week or two, the event. But this is all hypothesis.
So basically, all the kits that were leaked or some people have shown the kits on Discord are 99% fake. So is that the general agreement, or do you guys think that the kits are somewhat true? Hello?
Everyone that posted said it's fake, whatever. It's hard to take whatever true. But Grande Patron did bring up a good point of like, if Jedi Revan is meant to counter Treya, because Treya is so dominant, they need to do something about that health, because every time a character attacks, a character loses health or protection by a certain percentage. So in order to counter that with Jedi Revan, it would need to be something where he gains health.
Yeah, I agree. And do you think, or anyone else thinks that is gonna be so every journey tune we had, um, it's still relevant to the game and OP in the game in every facets of the game. Maybe yeah, they lost some ground on arena in the meta, but do you guys think Revan is gonna be the new team in arena, or they are gonna have still a rock paper scissor type of teams in arena? What do you guys think?
I think it'll be like how it is now. I mean, the Chewy team will work. I think there'll be a Revan team that'll work. I mean, shit, you can make a Django team work if you try hard.
Okay.
The RSG team brought up something that was interesting, saying that every time they release a hero's journey type character, they dominate the meta for a while, but then they kind of they go from great to very good. So like CLS was a very dominant force. He took up at least like 50% of the pie during the meta report, and then he diminished now to a very good character who is very still useful in TW and Arena. And likewise with Jedi Training Ray, where she was a dominant force when she first came out. Now she's a very good character in TW and a little less so in Arena. So Revan will be sounds like will be, if they follow the cycle, Revan will be something very similar. a dominant force to start off with, but over time there will be something that would diminish his return.
Uh, do you guys like um, uh, do you guys like the fact that uh, wait, what was gonna say? I forgot. Holy shit. Um, oh my God. Okay, so yeah, I'll come back to that in a bit. Um, they mentioned that Revan was gonna be probably the tune to have to solo the Sith ride. Do you guys like like CLS was for the Rancor, like yeah, for the Tank 2, similar to JTR, you can solo P2, you know? Do you
I
guys
mean, that
think?
would make the most sense.
Okay, so do you guys think his kit is gonna be uh like his abilities and kit are gonna be targeting Treya teams for the arena, or have like a, let's say, a kit also focused on the ride? What do you guys think?
Well, I think to be thematic, Revan isn't exactly anti-Sith, so I think it's going to be more like kind of like Bastila, but for Old Republic, just a very, very good Old Republic leader ability is what I'm predicting, so that you can have the Knights of the Old Republic team together, which is kind of the whole point, like to kind of,
Hmm.
build that idea that in Galaxy of Heroes we can actually have like an older public experience, like having that team fighting together.
Hmm.
And I think that team will be at the very least decent in arena, and will probably have in either heroic AT or heroic Sith, some kind of very good team.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, if they're gonna make you farm all these tunes, um, especially 5 of them to 7-star, you would assume that they would be a decent team in arena.
Exactly, yeah.
And they said on one of the live streams, I couldn't believe it, that I don't know, but I don't use this character, but like they said, Zalbar is better than GK. Um, and
I
uh,
mean, kind of.
I mean, I don't run it in arena, so I have no idea. Like,
Yeah.
mine's like at gear 8 or something, gear 7. But I know that Jolie can revive Jedi
Mhm.
with the Zeta,
Mhm.
and there needs to be some sort of synergy with the Jedi and with the Old Republic, I assume.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
Mission does a huge amount of damage. I know in the whale chat, that's a big topic right now, is how much damage Mission does when she's all fully maxed out. She really
Mhm.
does deal a huge damage. That's, I think, why people are thinking Revan with the other Old Republic Jedi are going to do really well in the Sith raid, because I guess Mission just deals a huge,
I
like
don't
Raid
know.
Han, they were saying,
I don't
huge
know
damage.
if you guys saw the the video I posted in the Seed Phase 2 channel. Yeah. Cubs posted a video with Kira Lead, Mission, Zalbar, Young Han, and Ermitioda, and they do 10% of P2. They're really good, like almost 6 million damage.
Where'd you post that video?
Seed Phase 2 channel in the Sith Ride channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that McMo's 2 video?
Oh, McMall, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
not the other guy. Yeah. McMall, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So already they are doing pretty good. Like, yeah, Mission and Zalbar together are gonna be really good. Okay, so
Yeah,
no
I was just
more.
reading McMull's posting more on Reddit right now, I guess. On McMull posts a lot in the whale chat, so I look a lot in the whale chat.
Mhm.
And yeah, they're talking. That's kind of the theory, is that Mission is just a huge damage dealer.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard. I was watching a video with Timani, and I don't remember who. I think it was Warrior or oh yeah, Warrior video with Imani, and she said that her mission with full 6E mods was almost one-shotting every toon in the game, or one-shotting every toon in the game. So that's something. Would you what toon would you guys remove from the Old Republic team to include Revan?
Honestly, I feel like T3 is the odd one out.
Yeah, true.
That buff dispelling is very handy, but
Not in the ride.
which can counter buff immunity. But I see two different possibilities. Revan lead with the two Jedi and the two scoundrels, or Revan lead with like Zalbar, the two Jedi, and some kind of like mix and match character like Thrawn or something that
Yeah,
just helps every team.
yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's move forward. Next topic is mods in for TW modding, um, team compositions for TW on defense and offense. So after um, after we the officers discussed uh, 2 weeks ago, we pretty much came to the conclusion that at least the two biggest guilds we have are probably gonna be focusing a lot on territory war. So that's something we wanna improve on, and we would like that to be the main, um, let's say, our main focusing point, because like rides are, they are what they are. Territory battle is pretty much a matter of participation from the guild and the total galactic power from the guild. And then there's territory war, where you need coordination, communication, single player skill to beat the teams. So they are one-shot battles, which make it or break it. So that's the thing we want to focus on as you know an alliance, but mostly with the two biggest guilds we have for now. Uh, and so we would like to have everyone to if you guys have questions about teams, about modding, we would like to have you guys be more, even from people not in those two guilds, like general. But yeah, we would like to have you guys more into it, and so we would we wanted to talk a bit about it.
Well, could we have a maybe a territory wars channel like we do for Arena?
Yeah, yeah, we are working on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you guys like, I don't know if you Goo or Fish you guys want to take it over and talk a bit about what team works on offense, defense, um, you know, uh, what we will do. Like, we want to have, stra- strategies for, each guild, and help the guilds, help the players with modding, with team compositions, tips, tricks. I don't hear Goo. I don't know if Goo, if you're talking, I don't hear you.
Hello?
Yo, hey.
Yep.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
hear you now.
Yeah. Okay. So I posted a couple screenshots that I took. I know that Team Instinct, all their guilds, they're very uniform and they like very targeted in terms of modding and whatnot, and they have specific like requests of what they want for TW. And what I decided to do, if you look at the first histogram, the frequency versus character, I'll just grab the top 10 whales in the guild, and then I grabbed their top 5 speed secondaries. So I looked at like Warrior, he's the 10th biggest whale in TI. I looked at his 5 best squares, 5 best triangles, 5 best circles, 5 best crosses, and then I marked down which character it was on, so the frequency. And you just look at it. This is not from a TW lens, but looking at look at a whale's best mods, speed mods. What are they putting it on in general? And if you look at the histogram, you can see that clearly Nest is something that all whales put their best mods on, almost 1.5 to 2 times as much. And then if you look at some of the other names, like you see like the Triumvirate, and it might be a little hard to see on the histogram, so I posted a pie chart, which is exactly the same data that's represented.
Did you want us to look at those graphs as well? I
Alliance
don't
Yeah.
see
chat.
them in the chat.
He posted in
It's
the
in the
Alliance chat.
oh, I put it in the wrong chat. Whoops, my bad. Yeah, it's in the Alliance chat, I guess.
Yeah, he's gone. Okay.
Oh,
Go.
we can't hear you again, Goo. Last thing I heard you say was, yeah, it's in Alliance chat.
Yeah.
While you get that fixed, I'm going to go ahead and post those graphs to our Town Hall chat. Not that everyone
Yeah,
can't switch over.
let's. I
but-
mean, it's not.
No?
We're gonna create a TW channel and we are working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're there. It's fine. I saved them, so if they disappear, I'll have them saved.
True, but then it won't look good for our minutes.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Go. You're still. Okay. Can't you? So. Um. We as the Inferno Squadron, because it's not TFF anymore. We we have a strategy right now. We worked on for TW defense and offense, and we're gonna share it in a bit. But yeah, I mean, never mind. Let's just wait for Gu to come back if he can fix it, so he can go ahead with this topic without changing it.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Sorry, it's a weird thing going on. Anyways, okay, I'm using Discord on the phone and the PC, and doing some weird things. Anyways, so if you look at the chart with the TI mod distribution, the pie charts, and you're just trying to see where they're putting their mods at. Obviously, everyone's like putting it on Nest, and they could be using it for 2 reasons: one for Arena or one for TW as a Treya killer. And then you see some of like Nihilus and Treya stand out very much compared to Scion. They almost double the amount of usage on speed mods for Nihilus and Treya. So once again, it could be used for TW and Arena. But the thing that caught my eye was the usage of Old Ben, Kylo Ren, and Bosk.
Yeah.
I assume they're using Old Ben. I don't know, but they might be using it as a Treya killer with CLS and Chewbacca, because Chewbacca's also up there in the back. And but
to clarify, are you saying that those 3 are on a team together, or you've just seen that they use them a lot?
No, they're putting their best mods. We're talking about plus 20 speeds on Old Ben, Kylo Ren, and Bosk.
Okay.
So if they're putting it on Old Ben, I assume they're using it for TW offense, because it's not. I don't think they're using it for Arena unless they're using it also as a CLS. But if you look at their arena rankings, none of them are running CLS as arena.
Well, I mean, Old Ben is also good with Jedi, of course. And one thing about Old Ben is that if any other Rebel or Jedi takes damage, Old Ben will gain either, I think it's 3% TM without the Zeta or 5% with the Zeta. So basically, the faster you get Old Ben, the less other characters have to get hit before Old Ben can get that mind tricks off, which will lower everyone's TM. Just very devastating ability. Ability block, offense down. Anything that gets resisted will give all allied Jedi and rebels TM. So it's a very good, whether on defense or offense. Old Ben being fast helps Old Ben get the match altering mind tricks off faster.
Yeah, definitely. And I think in my prediction is that they're using Old Ben as a TW offensive team because the amount of secondary speed loaded on Old Ben is astronomical for TI. Kylo Ren also, above all else, above all the other First Order characters, has the most speed secondaries. So he is the one that is generating the TM for the entire team with his AoE. And lastly, Bosk has a lot of speed, and that is under the assumption that's being used as TW defense. And those three stuck out to me because if you look at those top 10 whales, none of them are running anything besides Treya as their arena lead. So they're using it for TW offense or defense in some way.
Okay, so um, yeah, so uh, I don't know if there's a member from TGR on Discord that can speak right now, but I would like to know, yeah, also your defense layout, what you guys are using on defense, because what we're using is bounty hunters, uh, Bastila teams, and and yeah, Gu, if you read Giroro, he he has something for you. So, but yeah, so Old Ben, I think, judging from what I gathered, is probably in a rebel team. I think he's not going, he's not in a Jedi team, in a Basila defense Jedi team, because you probably use Kenobi, I think, as a tank for that team. Okay. Fish, you wanna add anything else?
I was actually looking for the latest Team Instinct comp they're running in the territory war. It's really interesting. I was gonna post a picture of it. I just can't find it right now. But that's what I was looking for. Obviously, Kylo Ren, they're putting a ton of speed on to make it so their KRU team can't be just beat by a Finzistance team. The 30-point speed adder by having KRU lead makes whatever your fastest member of the KRU team 30 points faster. And as long as you have somebody faster than the other PO, hard to win resistance. So that really kind of levels the bar of counters that you can have beat KRU by having somebody fast on that team. And I'm pretty sure by having Kylo Ren fast, that's giving them the ability to counter stun, I think is what he does. I'm sure a fast Bosk was actually the team I was looking to post an image of. They don't have Bosk lead on the last TW that Team Instinct ran. Their Bravo Team Instinct, the top guild. I don't know the exact comp. It was a very interesting team comp. I'm just scrolling through the whale chat to post it up in our chat, but I haven't found it yet. Old Ben.
What they were running?
I'm not sure where Yeah, they had a really interesting comp. It was really interesting because that's why it was posted in the whale chat. Team Instinct is not allowed in the whale chat. Um, but so obviously, whenever Team Instinct does weird things, people talk about it a lot. So yeah, their latest TW comp was posted several times. They lost. MC1 beat them in the TW, but they actually got 27,000, 22,000 points.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, almost a perfect run against TI. Yeah, it was interesting. But it's I think a lot of it they're just really looking like any team is looking at the top for comps, especially on those top guilds. They play the same teams again and again. I mean, we battled Team Instinct like 6 times, Bravo like 6 times, and we battled some of the lower ones 2 or 3 times when I was on MC1. So you start playing the same teams again and again. So they have to rotate their plans and strategies
Yeah.
every time because otherwise it's you can't be repetitive. Eventually, I think we'll hit that wall. That's why moving Nest and moving Barris around is a really good ploy to kind of mix things up a bit.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think we have a pretty good defensive strategy that we posted on that map in the TW War Room. So it's just a matter of time as people work on teams and we get better teams in there, and I think we'll start
So,
seeing the results pretty quick.
I want to add something exactly talking about berries and nest. So what we did in Inferno, old TFF, we are starting to add Zarris and Nest to, yes, Night Sisters, of course, but also to bounty hunters and first order.
Ooh,
So
I found where TI puts their old bin in case
oh,
anyone's curious.
yeah, go for it.
They have a Bastilla comp that they put their old bin on.
Oh, what's
Is is this recent?
The very last TW, yeah, that was
Okay.
on the 7th, I believe. Yeah,
so they
they
used
actually
Bastila
lost.
on defense with
They have Stilla, GK, both Yodas, and Old Ben.
okay.
That was one comp. The other comp was really neat. It was Django, Boba, Bosk, Dengar, and Nest.
Ooh,
That was their interesting one that everyone commented on.
okay.
Could you write those down in chat just so I can see the names?
Yeah.
Okay, so also B2 Battle Droid is another interesting tune to have to counter JTR. So yeah, with a buff immunity. And where was B2 used? With Night Sisters? Or which other team was used B2 in?
Normally you'd use B2 with the bounty hunters because they really shut down JTR, and
Oh,
JTR is by far the best comp for the bounty hunters
Okay.
besides Bastilla or Treya
Okay.
or CLS.
Okay. So, and one thing I I want to talk about is what Goose said about tenacity. Okay, so tenacity on KRU and Nihilus
And Bosk.
and Bosk. True. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, yeah, if you want to talk about it a bit, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a pattern that I've noticed. The last time I checked, I don't know if they changed it, but 9 out of 10 of their boss had a tenacity cross with a tenacity set, and I've noticed even if it was like a 10 speed mod, they still made it a 6 dot mod, and they seem to be emphasizing a lot on tenacity. And if you've listened to Warriors videos, he talks a lot about tenacity also.
Yeah.
And as well as because the idea of like from what originally was 10% for a bonus has now become 20%.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now that 24% becomes a 35%, which is, I believe, the largest gains out of any primary or set bonus in the new mods 2.0.
Well, I think crit avoidance and accuracy probably got better, but
Yeah, but
people haven't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
found any solid uses for those.
yeah.
I know for a time, I know some of their GKs on Team Instinct are using critical avoidance. That's what I saw, but some it's not uniform. But a lot of them are using tenacity, and Indiana Jones brought up the idea of like some of his shard mates are using tenacity crosses on Nihilus. And for me, I mean, I don't have like enough longitudinal data, but I do know that I don't fall as far having my Nihilus at 100, like 10% tenacity, because it nest fails at times because of that high tenacity. And the opponent most likely doesn't have a nest with a potency cross, probably an offensive cross.
Does it work also for Nihilus Drain?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, to tenacity to resist it?
yeah.
I mean, as long as there's a debuff on your Nihilus, if they do the force drain, you will lose. You will increase cooldown.
Okay,
So as long as there's a debuff on you, there's no way to avoid it.
okay,
But if there's no debuff to begin with, then you have a 50% chance.
okay, yeah.
So
So
the
is
the emphasis on tenacity is something to take into consideration, especially for teams that are on defense.
Mhm.
That, for example, Night Sisters can kill crew, or JTR can kill Bosk. If you have a lot of that tenacity on, it makes it difficult to apply those buffs, and then that can really throw your game off as a offensive player. You're like, hey, that didn't work. Oh, crap, my plan has been foiled. And then you have to react accordingly versus being proactive.
Yeah, I think, and to a large extent, intelligently, usually on offense, people are only checking speed. And so I don't think very many players are actually checking tenacity. So that can actually catch some people off guard.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you should probably run potency on your offense, because having any sort of potency pretty much outdoes as much tenacity as they could ever load on there.
Actually, no, because with mods 2. With mods 1.0 before the rework, tenacity and potency were about equal. Like a tenacity cross equals a potency cross, tenacity set equals potency set. I think it was like 10% for the each pair of the set, and then 24% for the crosses. Now after the rework, potency is like a 15% per pair, and tenacity is like 20% per pair. Also, I'm pretty sure that a 6E tenacity cross has a bigger bonus than a 6E potency cross. So tenacity has actually gotten a bit of a buff compared to potency. So if you choose to invest in tenacity, it does its job. It makes you tenacious.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just the AI has like a minus 35% on the switching. So if you have like 100, in reality, you're really 100 to 65. So it's just the way the AI works. Yeah. So if you have exact same numbers across the board, you still have an advantage, basically.
What was that about? You were saying the AI gets a tenacity disadvantage. What was that?
No, that's why if you have 100%, you're still not immune to anything.
Oh,
Like if you
right.
have 100%, yeah, they still buffs it down, so you can still things still work. As long
Right.
as you have some potency, as long as you have some sort of potency, you'll still be able to land debuffs, even if they have 100% tenacity.
Well, no, actually, because if your tenacity matches their potency, then you wait a minute. Yeah, actually, I think you're right because
Or else the game wouldn't function. Yeah, people would just put 100% tenacity and be like, "I win."
right, yeah, that doesn't mean that you're immune to debuffs. It means that if your opponent has what is it, like 30% potency or less, then you have the maximum tenacity of 85%. No, wait, is it 15? My math is losing. Me.
So
Yeah.
hello.
Yep.
On that tenacity potency stuff, there was a nice video of a warrior, and what he was explaining is that even though you have 100% tenacity and the opponent has zero potency, you still have a 30% chance to get the debuff, for the debuff to stick.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as you have some potency, you're gonna do good. You just, want to be conscious if they're running massive tenacity, like they're putting it on their Darth and the Helix so that the Gatling's teams don't work very well. So that when Death Trooper does his AoE, it doesn't work on Darth Nihilus, and he doesn't lose turn meter, and he can still remove your special, your cooldowns. You just have to make sure your Death Trooper has potency, some sort of potency behind it, just to make sure the RNG kind of favors you. I don't think you need to match their DT's tenacity or anything. You just need to have some effort towards potency.
Mm.
The thing is, a lot of people have shifted from potency to offensive mods for their primary just because it's the
Or
new
protection.
or protection. Yeah, it's just no one really talks about potency as much anymore in terms of from the game changers perspective. And then I was just looking at some of the top 10 whales boss and looking at their tenacities. This does not include their 50% built-in leadership for boss,
Oh,
but
of course.
like 114%, 121%, 104%, 107%, 102, 80 is the lowest I saw, 120, all the way up to 150. That's the one posted. Plus
Yes,
the 50.
I posted those team comps in the Territory War channel, the Team Instinct comps, and it's really interesting how they don't even have Boss lead in their latest comp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can afford it. But yeah, that's something. Yeah, because they can do that. I think we can look at only boss cleats, but yeah, that's an interesting comp for sure.
Goo, you said you posted those screenshots in the Territory Wars channel. You mean the Inferno Squadron one?
No, no, in the war
So-
room, and we need to we either give access to everyone there, go, or fish if
Oh, fish. I think fish is the one
yeah,
that.
because we created one
Oh yeah.
for the officers if they wanted to go there. Yeah, I'll change the channel.
Okay, thanks.
Good idea.
And also, they have a lot of gold mods, but besides the fact that gold mods, I don't think for them it doesn't really matter. They're just going for pure speed. They'll have like 24% protection mods and whatnot that are 6 dot.
Yeah, Team Instinct is very organized, very organized. So when they have a strategy or they do something like what Evergoo's pointing out, there's a good reason for it. They're not just randomly happening to have all this tenacity. There's definitely they're testing it, and if they continue to do that, it's obviously working for them, or else they change because they are a very, very active guild with testing and communication between guild members. So they move fast and they do come up with some pretty good comps.
I think I would be curious to hear what the other guilds do besides TGR and TFF, because when you're at a different GP level, you have to form different lineups,
Tiger
compositions.
Squadron and Inferno Squadron. Yeah, but yeah. I don't know if anyone can talk from TFR. But yeah, we would like to hear what you guys go for, defense and offense. I don't think they can talk.
I mean, regardless of what you do for TW, like those mods, the pie chart does give you an idea of like how you can utilize your mods for certain tunes in arena.
Yeah.
So because these are all considered to be meta tunes for the most part. So if you're struggling in arena, you can think about like Ness is the most important character in terms of modding for speed.
Although perhaps now potency as well.
Yeah, having potency as a, but that's assuming that the other Treya squad is running a tenacity cross. I don't think that's caught on to many people yet. I think
Yeah.
it's slowly trickling in.
Okay, do we want to talk about anything else about mods, TW, and whatnot?
Don't buy new mods. Just upgrade your current ones.
Okay, what about farming new mods?
I don't think you should buy it from the
Shop.
what do you call it? Simming the mod challenges or whatever. You should buy either from the mod shipments. I think that's what
Okay.
it's called, or upgrade your current ones. Just because you're just doing a lot of random, you know, dice rolling,
Well,
and
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and I, as I stated before, I think like characters come and go, but mods are forever. And um, I've still since day one of mod 2.0, and I'm totally missing out on Revan because of focusing on different things. But every day I've been doing 50 on the mod slicing, just so that I can always keep having the best mods possible, because those always can be transferred over to the future.
Do you think they made a mistake by having the 6E mods only usable on G12 7-star toons? Because I think that's kind of bullshit.
It is bullshit, but you have to follow through with it, because if you don't follow through with it, then you can't use it. So
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
happens, but you just gotta deal with it. Same thing, right? Revan happens. You just gotta deal with it.
So would you either upgrade your arena mods to gold or upgrade the gold to 6E first?
I think they put the limit on where you can use 6-star mods in to prevent people from prematurely whaling really fast. If you're a new player and you just
Yeah,
start
yeah,
playing and you
yeah.
invest a lot of money, it's not really fair in the arena to have 6 dot mods on your level 80 players. I mean you should have to get to level 85, get them high enough in gear before you can really take advantage of 6 dot mods, because you can just buy 6 dot mods. And so I think they did
Maybe
that to put some cadence in the game to keep people from just blasting to the top by spending money.
okay, maybe
In,
removing
in newer shards. In older shards is not the case, but newer shards you can definitely see that kind of stuff would happen really fast.
the G12, you know, keeping the 7-star. Okay, but the G12 kinda, yeah.
You know, when that happened, the first time I upgraded, I'm like, yes, can't wait to put on Nest. And then it said G12. I'm like, oh crap! So I literally just
Yep.
transferred all my Nest mods onto Thrawn, and swapped my Thrawn Thrones onto Nest, and just
And
play with
I also
Thrawn being
I
my
thought
fastest.
also I thought that it was only a 7-star thing, and I tried to put all my throne mods, which are my fastest, on like Hermit Yoda for for phase 2 of the Sith ride, and I was like, oh, needs to be G12. Oh, fine, thanks. Really nice. But yeah, I get it. To avoid, big spenders to get an advantage with it too. Yeah, it's fine. I find, the both things kind of stupid, but I get it. So, uh, uh, do you guys recommend upgrading your arena mods first to gold, or the gold ones to 6E first? Anyone?
Well, I'm of the school of doing the 6E ones first, especially if you have a difficult fleet arena, because 6E mods are they improve your ship stats, so they're very important. Although, of course, the actual stats of those 6E mods don't matter because it's just a matter of having that 6E mod equipped that makes that
Yeah, yeah,
pilot
yeah, yeah.
better. Um, it also improves your raid performance a lot. It's a tough call, but I'm leaning towards just getting 6E first because usually there's plenty of other game modes that actually give you mats for every other type of mod upgrading besides getting your mod to 6E. So it's like if you focus on 6E predominantly, then the game kind of, if you're, prepared with like, doing lone heroic Sith and doing the smugglers event every week, then the game will kind of give you the mats for the other mod farming just by itself.
Well, I'm not saying I have the answer to the question, but what I am doing, I started upgrading to gold all my fast mods, meaning all the ones that were over 15 secondary speed. So they're ready to get to 6E whenever I start farming those 6E mats, whatever they're
Mhm.
called.
Sorry, can you repeat that? What was it that you're doing so that you're ready to farm 6E mods?
I started leveling all my fastest mods, meaning
Uh-huh.
over 15 speed secondary, to
Yeah.
gold. And when I'll be starting to farm the mats to get them to 6E, I will. But for now, I'm not focusing on that because I have other stuff to do with my guild currency, and my crystals are definitely not going into that.
Okay.
My same thing like Raj said. Not sure it's the best strategy, but it's kind of like wavers back and forth in terms of how I feel about mod slicing. So initially, I try to get everything to like 20 some plus, and then that was a failure. So I just went to go into 6 dot mods, and then you get a certain level, but then you go back, oh, let's try it again, and then oh well, it's actually working. I'm getting my 20, 25s and whatnot. So just go back and forth, and depending on like, for me, it was my mood, how I felt, and um, ultimately, wanted to have the. I've always wanted to have the fastest shards in my arena. I mean, fastest mods in my arena shard. So, if that's my goal, then I would just push really hard on getting it to like the high 20s. And once I achieved that, I went back to 6 dot mods and whatnot. So, if someone beats me again, I think I'm currently tied for the fastest mods. If someone beats me again, then I'll go back to doing just gold. But Raidhan always wins. Just don't forget that.
Yeah, he shot first.
And Chewy shot second.
Jesus.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, the
so
other day I went against the Han Chui, a CLS Han Chui team, and Han and Chui just one shot it my Nihilus. I was like, what? No! I
yeah.
No.
still won though.
So
There's a couple guys in the whale room that remod other people's teams for money. It's they got a little business going. Actually, it's kind of funny, but they do pretty well. And a lot of people were involved in the beta program for mods 2.0. A lot of the people
go,
in
can you mute
yeah, a
yourself?
lot of the people that were
Go.
in the couple top deals that are in the whale chat were part of the beta program for mods 2.0. So they got pretty much unlimited access to slicing and all this fun stuff on the beta program. And their recommendations for slicing mods were to start with your purple mods that have the highest speed and offense combinations and slice those. And then go to your blue mods that have the highest speed and offense combinations and then slice those. And then go to your green mods that have either speed or offense and slice those. After that, they said go back to gold mods and then work on putting anything gold up to 6 star. That was
Okay.
their recommendations for slicing
Okay.
Well,
mods.
but what's interesting for that recommendation is that that's someone with literally like infinite resources for like I can slice, anything as much as I want.
Yeah, yeah.
And the grain of salt to keep in mind for that is that slicing green mods up to 6E is going to take you literally almost a week. So that might not be the best actual advice for at least not as far as green mods are concerned, but for blue and purple, it's worth noting, I think, that they were suggesting finding your best, your hardest hitting and your fastest mods and working on those.
I don't think it will take a week to upgrade a green mod to gold. I don't
Well,
think
No,
it
so.
it
depends on
will.
if you're refreshing or not. I
Yeah.
guess if you are refreshing, it'll be a bit faster.
Well, I do two out of the three refreshes on the mod energy, and it goes pretty fast. I'm done with the plus 15 speed,
Yeah, but
so now I'm just stacking
she's
for
saying from
6E.
green to 6E, it takes a lot.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
I had time to level up some
In
green
a
mods
week where
too,
you
and they
don't
go
have
pretty fast.
in a week where you don't
Because
have the Sith ride and other
well, it
events.
goes fast because it doesn't require a lot for green mods. It's like 10,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
5 or
To get
10 of the stuff. So
if
just
you
a sim and you get done.
mhm. If you do 3 refreshes a day, you can get that green to blue definitely in a day.
oh yeah.
And then the blue,
Well,
it takes like 4 days maybe to get to. It's
yeah,
a 6E that's the challenge.
right, yeah.
Because to get a green to a blue, it's like 5 of a sort and 10 of the other. So like in without even refreshing, you get that,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the first day.
Yeah.
So when you go to the blue is kind of harder because you have 10 and 20, but it's still achievable quite quickly. But that's true. The purple ones, they take a little longer, but still, I don't think it will take a week. I would more bet on. For me, I didn't really do the study, but I guess it would take 2 or 3 days for one green mod to get to gold.
I would agree with that.
Okay, so um, let's move forward. So the other thing we wanted to talk, it was the guild renaming. So and the alliance renaming, but it stayed the same. So uh, we we were looking around on how to um, improve our uh, how can I say this? Like our product, what we have here, and to show it to the outside world. And we chose to rename each guild we have in the alliance to Thai Alliance. It was that on another name. So we voted on that. This will probably, hopefully, help with recruiting if needed, so that people can see that we are a big unified group instead of five different guilds that operate on their own. um, and then we had another vote and we chose to use Thai, like, no, not Thai, Empire squadron names, and some of our guilds still needs to choose a name. I think we have two guilds that still need to choose a name. But then TFF is now Inferno Squadron, TGR is Tiger Squadron, 249 is Skull Squadron. Yeah, right. Fish. Okay, never mind. But it's Skull Squadron. Um, and then we need the other two guilds to rename. So this is just internally for us to uh, yeah, like we are not anymore TFF, TGR, TFR, TU 249, because when we, I mean, speaking to players outside, telling them, yo, we have 5 guilds in our alliance, and here are the guild names. So it's like a bit confusing. It was a bit confusing. So it will take time, to adjust to the naming in for us inside Discord. But yeah, with the time, we'll hopefully get it. So that this is just about the names, little bit of info.
Well, to give you some feedback on that, I I saw that a few days ago, and I was quite pleased. I liked it. It looks good, and it brings unity. I really like the concept, and we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, that's what we want to hear. That we
One
did it.
question I kind of had
Yeah.
along the lines of changing the name now that we've done that is one thing in a lot of other guilds they'd ask people to not post titles because that way you can't see what guild they're from.
Oh yeah,
Um, so that's I don't know if that's something that people want to
I did it.
talk about or care about or want to do, but just a
Oh,
thought.
well, to me, when I get a title, I usually put it like for a week and then pull it back out because I like to have the guild name. So the last one I had was the first at the 10th grade. So I left it for a week and pulled it back out.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to show the guild name, it would be appreciated, so that people, since we have um, multiple people in the same shard, it would be cool to have,
Yeah,
the,
especially ours, because we
yeah, yeah,
are,
yeah,
I don't know, I think four or five
a
of
lot,
us in there. Yeah,
definitely a lot.
yeah. Oh, for the little story, I used to be in Hexagon Alliance, which is a French community, like a Swaggle community, and the shield they call it, right?
Hmm.
The
The logo,
symbol of
yeah,
the
yeah.
guild, the logo. It was the same but in green.
Ah,
Yeah,
so yeah,
that's why I like it.
this is, yeah, to talk about the name. Um,
FYI, we're in phase 4.
yeah, 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 yeah. So um, if you guys have any question, feel free to ask on Discord because we didn't have any question in the channel, in the Town Hall channel. So if you guys wanna talk about anything, feel free to ask.
I had two questions about mods that I just remembered.
Hmm. Yep.
So there are two, besides refreshing for mod energy, there is today's event, the mythic pieces and plans, and also now I guess bi-weekly more or less, there's going to be the smuggler's run. Um, what do people recommend about investing resources into getting those? Like today, I'm wondering if it's worth it to spend 600 to do one refresh, maybe even two refreshes for pieces and plans, because that would get guaranteed purple or gold speed or offense sets, which are some of the best in the game right now. On the other hand, looking at how cheap mod refreshes are right now, maybe that's not really worth it. So what do people think?
I okay.
I would say no unless you're like a whale territory. I've done it once before and I wasn't pleased. And just understand that there are 12 secondaries stats, and the likelihood of a speech showing up of those 12 of the four, I think is very low. So I think looking at it from your perspective as a free to play, I would not spend 600 on that.
Okay.
Yeah, ever since slicing mods came out or mods 2.0, even in the whale chat, the only preferred method of getting mods now is through the mod store. I mean, people will just sit and refresh the store constantly until they get good mods. But in the past, to get the mods, but now it's not the recommended way to spend money, I guess, on the game, according to the whales.
That's really interesting. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, the mod store is just like Goo was saying. The mod store is the best way to get mods now by far. You have to really be choosy on what you're getting. It's yeah.
Huh.
Okay, so continuing on the mod subject, there's the Smuggler's Run coming in a few days. Is it worth it to level up a few tunes to get the
Yes.
last tier done or not? Because uh, all you're getting more than what you already get in the previous tier is the 6E salvage. Impulsion, whatever modulator, or I don't remember the name.
I think it is worth. What you guys think?
Yes,
I
but
I think it's worth going for that last tier to get the 6E, because 6E I think costs 14 per versus 12 per on the other ones, if I recall correctly.
I don't
you mean
remember.
on the rest of the mats that they give you?
All the other slicing maps are worth 12 mod energy per battle, whereas the two slicing materials at the end of the mod battles require 14.
Oh,
And
I was talking about the non-farmable one,
the non-farmable,
the
uh,
gold one.
oh, the gold one.
This is
Sorry.
the one I was aiming at.
Yeah, I think you should aim for that because they cost a lot for guild currency and they take a while.
Yes, yes,
They
that's what
take
I
a
was
while.
thinking. But how much do you get in that?
I don't remember. I just try to go like there was even this other one, the smugglers one, I think, where or the cargo one where like you can choose to get Lando shards, young Lando shards, or the Millennium Falcon, or go for the more well, not slicing mats, the reinforcement mats and whatnot. And it's
Yes,
just like
yes, yes.
I tried to go for the young Lando one, but your odds are very slim because you're playing a dice roll like 1 out of 5 chance of getting the young Lando shards or the Millennium Falcon, and whereas you're getting that guaranteed reinforcement match. So in general, I've always gone for the largest
The
reward.
highest tier, the
Yeah.
highest tier. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I tried and I didn't make it, so that's why I was considering leveling up Kira and L3 because I already have Han Solo to gear 12 and the vets to gear 9, I think, or whatever.
And I think any chance that you can save that guild currency for other things like stun cuffs and carbontes or
Oh yeah.
hollow projectors, do it, or whatever the gear 11 plus to 12, whatever, save it for that reason because those are just so costly and it's really annoying.
Okay. Okay. So that's all for the mod questions, but I would have another question,
Yeah.
TB related. Today is the IPD special mission, the last mission. What comp would you recommend me to use? Because I've never made it, and I would like to be able to do it.
I've never
Knowing that,
failed one. I've never failed the IPD mission, and my secret is don't use anyone that taunts, because the minute someone taunts, they get blasted. Like every time I tried, if I try to use Shore Trooper on any team, when he starts taunting, they just pick him out, and those rebels can just unload on you. So I've never failed one, and I've used only troopers, never used Thrawn or anybody, and just don't use anyone that taunts.
okay, okay,
That
well,
works for me. I mean, that's just what's let me pass it every time.
So funny thing that you say that, Fish, because one time I remember hearing that multiple times and then I remove my taunter, my short trooper, and then I lose.
Yeah, I just get lucky, I guess.
well, anyway, I'll try because there's no point doing the same thing and knowing it's gonna fail. Because I had short trooper in there the last time around, so I'll try without him.
The link I just posted, I swear by that. I literally watch that like every time before I attempt the mission. You can skip like the first like 2 or 3 minutes of it. You can kind of like you can kind of just skip around a little bit to see because half of it is like Nukin suggesting what comps to use for the entire phase for all of the battles. But yeah, I really recommend that video I just posted from Nukin. Um, I watch it since I've started watching it. I can do it every time, and I have like a Gear 7 IPD, I think.
Yeah, mine is Gear 8, so
So I
not
think you
too
can do it.
much
I
ahead.
just suggest you watch that video.
Yeah, that video is great.
Um,
I never remember the whole IPD, like what squad to use. So I always watch that video.
I'll watch it then
No.
because I'll wait before I do the
Did
mission.
anyone already post in the P4?
Yeah, what does anyone know what P4 is at? I'm currently in P4 myself, so I have no idea.
Because I just
Likewise,
fucked
I'm
up.
in P4.
I can
Okay.
go look because
Fuck.
all right,
I
let
did.
me pull up the game.
I did 15%
Mhm.
of Nihilus alone and I forgot to fucking avoid annihilate.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's in P4
Yeah. It's still alive.
and
Nihilus still alive. 78%.
yeah, it's taking so much time, the
I'm so fucking
animation.
stupid.
Yeah, 78%,
Yeah.
77.94.
Yep.
And Cyan is at
Yep.
93.62.
Okay.
So if anyone else has questions, if not, we can just, I don't know, chat about anything.
Yeah, well, I know you guys talked about Revan. I wasn't really listening because I was busy. And what do you think will be the value of that Jedi Revan?
Everything. He's
I
gonna
mean,
be
the value.
probably value, you mean if he's gonna be used in every aspect of the game? Yes, probably.
Because I'm definitely not gonna get him
Yeah,
since
like most of
What
us.
percentage of the guilds do you think will be getting Revan? I wonder. Like, how many people in the 250 person team expects to get Revan?
well, it would be nice to do a little how you call that um, uh, a poll. That's how you call it in English. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
To do a little poll to know how many people will sure have Revan, how many are going for him but are not sure, and how many are not.
We can do that if, yeah, sure.
It doesn't seem like it'll be very many of us, but I know I'm gonna definitely get Revan.
I think it's gonna be like maybe 20 people or more, a little bit more in the whole alliance, I think.
Yeah, I could see that. Give or take.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'll get him the next time around because I don't have the money to invest in that at the moment. So
Yeah. Yeah, it takes too much,
yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. I've done the
definitely.
math. It's not that much, but I don't have that much. Um, the amount uh, I
I mean, it
I
depends on
calculated.
how many shards you have and, you know, but for me,
Well,
for
I
example, for me it's around 250 euros, so it's a lot.
yeah, no, I'm way more because I was already including the gearing process to get them
Yeah,
to at least gear 9,
Yep.
Um, Thinking about maybe how many stun guns I would have to buy, full stun guns, which are 2,500 um, crystals.
Yep.
So about maybe $10 or something, maybe even more.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot to do it to get him.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I mean,
I'm still
do
farming
do
the
you guys
Kotor tune though.
think that he's gonna come back in less than 6 months? Or
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
Because
anticipating Revan for like Christmas, basically.
yeah,
mm,
yeah. I was thinking maybe December or January because when you look at CLS, he came back 3 months after
no,
his
way
first.
more.
Yes. Nope. Nope.
No,
Do the
yes,
math.
yeah, came back in Christmas.
He came. He was launched in September and came back before Christmas because Christmas was JTR, and JTR was 2 weeks after CLS returned.
Uh,
No,
is
GTR
someone
was when the movie released.
is
Yeah,
someone
it
outside?
was just Christmas, like 2 days before Christmas or something like that.
Oh, never mind.
Can someone check the run if Nihilus is still alive?
He's still alive 5 minutes ago.
And
Yeah,
so to finish
exactly.
my point, it was the same for JTR. She came in December, like Christmas, and she came back
Wasn't
in
it
March, if
wasn't it
I
like
recall.
5 months before the first time CLS came back and like 4 months for
Nope, nope. Pretty sure about that. Nope.
okay.
Because I told you for CLS it was September and December, which is 3 months and maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And JTR was the fastest one. It was 3 months almost around because she came back in March.
Okay.
So
Yes, if you didn't have multiple accounts going before they had mythic events, you would never know really when the legendaries came back around. Once you already got the character, it wouldn't show up on your account. It wouldn't show up anywhere. You
oh
wouldn't get
well,
the packs offered for sale. But if you didn't get the legendary, yeah, it would show up the next time. But now we have mythic events, so we see the events coming. But in the past, I think it's hard to really keep track of it unless you looked online or looked at a calendar because, yeah, the events wouldn't even show up once you had the character.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
Okay.
true.
yeah, that's true. But other people in the guild are talking about it, so you'll obviously know.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea when the Jedi Training Ray event started. I imagine it was like Wednesday or something. All I know is that the Pieces and Plans event started this weekend, so we probably had a Jedi Training Ray event
Yes,
recently.
some people got a JTR that time around
There's a
in my
there's a J,
aunt's guild.
there's a
Okay.
JTR event happening right now. Yeah,
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
Yes, it is
I think
currently.
like four days. I think left.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. Like I think everyone has their opinions about how this Revan thing was handed out or done. But for me, I don't know. Like as a semi free to play minnow, whatever, um, I just feel like the amount of time given to you, and if I hoarded the crystals, I'm not sure if I would have chased after it, even if I had enough crystals. It's just that sounds like a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I'm not really. I see how many people mad or whatever. Man, people who spending they need an edge, you know, because all right, we've been to a point where all free to play can have any tune to Gear 12 pretty quickly because they made gear farming and everything so much easier. So people who are really spending in the game, except of having the marquee tunes, they need an edge. And I'm not too pissed about that. I wouldn't say I'm pleased about it either because I'm not gonna get it, obviously. But I'm not too pissed off about the way they're doing it. They did that with Tron, basically, like a 1 week notice, and I didn't find it like um, uh, uh, too mu- uh, too short. You know, it wasn't really too short. People had time to farm the tunes at least to 5 or 6 stars. I got them to 6 stars without spending anything. So that's my point of view on the Revan stuff.
Okay.
I'm actually just been listening in, and I'm super annoyed about this Revan thing because I find myself constantly behind, having to play catch up with every single thing in the game. And then this one, I tried to get a head start, and then boom, there he comes, and there's no chance of getting it. So it annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah, it's the same way I feel about it because I was 100% sure it was gonna come way later.
Yeah, me
And,
too. And I
and
was like, oh, sure. And I was talking to my a mate who's in a different guild, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to charge full on to KOTOR and try and get it in time for Revan. Like, he's
yeah,
not going to come anytime soon. And then straight after Chewie, which also I just scraped in getting 6 star, then Revan comes. I'm like, well, there's no chance now.
yeah.
So I'm so annoyed because it's like by the time I catch up, it's something else comes up and just is better. So it's really annoying. I don't know how people manage to stay ahead and be ready for all these things. Maybe I'm missing something, but
No,
it's
no. I
ridiculous.
think I mean, everyone said that they really dropped the ball on this because if you noticed, the what's the name? Oh my God.
CG Carry?
No, 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 no. The Zalbar mission and the other tune uh, went free to play like 2 weeks ago, or little bit more than 2 weeks ago.
I
So
think 2 weeks. Well, maybe now it's 2 weeks and a few days, but I guess 2 weeks.
yeah, like so why are you you know having only the whales, kragans, and whatever get get the tune?
Well,
Because
that
that's
was my
how it
point
works.
because they need an edge for the money. Basically, the whales are paying for us to play the game.
No,
So
no, I get
I'm
it,
not
I
too
get it.
pissed about them having an edge. It's it's not cool that they get a character and we don't, but we'll get him eventually. That's how it's always been. I've never had a legendary tune the first time
You
around. Not legendary. I mean the hero's journey tune the first time
holy
around.
moly.
So well, one more, one less, whatever.
Yeah, you are too positive
Well, I
about it.
I am positive until I get pissed off, and I'm in a happy mood these days, so uh, I'll
Good
stay
for you.
positive.
There's a lot of people who's angry as fuck about it, and I get it. Your kid is enraging, Gu.
Kids, mine should be coming in the week coming or the next week.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm like, no, please come,
Gu,
come, finally.
Gu.
Yeah, my girl is so annoying when
I
she's
can't hear
pregnant.
shit, Raza, sorry.
Oh yeah,
Okay, and
kids.
I had to
That's what
lower
kids do.
I had to lower Gu's microphone.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Well,
Okay, so let me end